welcome back to Anime-chan. My name is Katie and today we're talking about The Promised Neverland episode 2. So most of you probably know by now that a few YouTubers have had their videos blocked. I got a strike for my The Promised Neverland first episode reaction. I'm not sure if any other channels got a strike, but because of that, obviously I'm not gonna test the waters again, because for those of you that don't know, if your channel gets 3 strikes, your channel gets deleted. So obviously I won't be posting reactions to The Promised Neverland, only for patrons, because it's on a different platform. I hope that those of you that really enjoy this anime and do want to talk about it and not just see my reaction are willing to stick around and hear my thoughts. Today's episode was not what I expected, but at the same time I don't really know what I expected. This is an anime that's probably going to be about 12 episodes long, but I can quickly make sure. If anyone has AniList, you can find me on AniList as well. I did try out my anime list, but it's not really for me. So yeah, I chose to do an AniList profile instead. I feel like it's really user-friendly. This is not sponsored. I just really like how it's set up, and it's just much easier for me to use and it looks better. Anyway, so The Promised Neverland, it will have 12 episodes. This anime is short, but it's not the shortest anime I've ever heard of. There's enough episodes to properly develop the characters and the story, but I'm thinking that we're going to come to a conclusion, but it will probably have some kind of open ending. So episode 2 to episode 11 is where all the development is going to happen. Episode 1 introduced the story to us, and episode 12 will in a way conclude the story. But we have 10 episodes in between where a lot of planning is going to happen. They said they have 2 months to plan an escape basically. But we don't know that for sure, because clearly the mother knows that someone was there. If she doesn't know, they were specifically those two, Norman and Emma. I think she might know it's them, because it's been shown she's suspecting them a lot, and they are acting a little bit suspicious. Their attitudes are definitely different. She even confronted Emma, so I'm pretty sure she knows. And now a new adult has been introduced, so clearly she's getting backup. And also a new baby has come into the orphanage, which is interesting because it's something we don't know. We don't know how often new babies were introduced into the orphanage, but it can't be that often. They have to grow up, because let's say that baby is now a few months old. They only get eaten at 6. From 6 they're able, like, that's normal grade meat. At 6 and at 12, that's like the 2. So it's so confusing. You can't think, will they send Emma, Norman or Ray, let's say would they have sent Emma, Norman or Ray to be eaten before 12? I don't think so. It sounds like you're either going to be eaten at 6 or at 12, and because their scores were so high, they want them to mature until they're 12 years old before they send them off. But now we don't know, once again, because since the mother knows that they know their secret, will they be shipped earlier? Could they shorten the 2-month mark? We don't know. Why was there a new baby introduced? Exactly what is the role of this new adult going to be? So many questions. But this anime makes me think of Attack on Titan in a sense, because there is this wall protecting this community. In this case, obviously, it's a farm. But think about it. Imagine if that was the case in Attack on Titan. Imagine. But I don't think it's the case. But I'm just saying, there are some similarities, because there's this unknown outside world, and they're up against a lot. And I get what Ray was saying. It's stupid to try and escape with 37 kids, most of them under the age of 6. It's not a smart decision to make. It does sound impossible. I'm very impressed with the fact that Norman, the cool-headed Norman, actually chose to hide that from Emma, or maybe hide that truth and he convinced himself that he was going to help her make the impossible possible because he likes her. I feel like I love that. That to me, because when I was 11, 12, which grade was I in? I'm pretty sure I had crushes. I definitely did. I think I was in grade 4. I had my first Valentine. That's about, I think I was 10. I had my first Valentine. So it's very possible for kids that spend all their time together to possibly fall in something like love, maybe fall in like, I don't know, but he likes her and he wants to make the impossible possible for her, and I love that. I think it's really beautiful. I love the exchanges between the characters, how they talk with each other, Emma's personality blending with the cool-headed but like calm Norman, and then Ray, who's also pretty level-headed but he's more fiery. He like grabbed him by the shirt. Like, I really like the characters. Yes, it's not my like, I have to be honest, sometimes small things can put me off an anime, and because there's so many that I want to watch, it's easy for me to drop one because of something I don't like, because there's 10 others that I really want to watch. So it's not that I ever drop an anime because it's necessarily bad. Sometimes I drop an anime because there's just something that puts me off and I just say I'd rather just watch this. For example, in Mob Psycho 100 or Mob Psycho, I started that and then it immediately put me off when he was like, oh, he's in middle school, like, I'm not going to relate to this character, I don't know. And then I just jumped to another one. It's not that I won't go back to it at some point maybe, but I just felt like there's too much that I want to watch now. I'm not that interested in this middle schooler. Okay, they're 11. I am so invested into these characters. It's great. Their personalities are actually so, and like I said, the exchanges between them are actually so complex and interesting that I actually stay interested. Whereas with the first episode of Mob Psycho, I don't know, I just felt So there's honestly no reason for that. It's just that this is something I like more. So I'm not bashing on Mob Psycho, I'm just trying to emphasize how much I like these characters. It's just, even though they are children, they're so smart. Their exchanges and what they're trying to do is so interesting. You want to see how they're gonna do it. And that's what I really, really love about this anime. So let me just open list editor. I've already scored this anime. I scored it on, usually I don't score an anime until episode 3, and then I edit my score as I go, depending on how the story and the characters progress and blah blah. Story-wise, this is a 10 for me. Character-wise, it's still an 8. I'm going to leave it an 8. Visuals, 8. Audio, I'm going to give the audio an 8. I really like the opening song. And enjoyment, a 9. So overall score, 8.6. What are they going to do? I'm trying to figure out how they could escape 37 kids. It really, really does seem impossible. And that's what makes this so riveting. Like, you want to know what happens next. Thank you to everyone, by the way, who contributed to the discussion of horror versus thriller in the last episode. And also I had a poll on my community tab asking, do you think that horror and thriller are basically the same genre? Do you think there's a difference between the two and they just intermix a lot? And the general consensus, well, the overwhelming consensus was that thriller and horror are two different genres, and they just, like, you get romance and comedy, but a lot of romance movies have comedy aspect, and a lot of comedy movies has a romantic couple here and there. Like, it's two genres that intertwine a lot, but they're not the same thing. That is, of course, just my opinion. You can still be of a different opinion, but I'm just reporting the results of the poll. An overwhelming amount of people agreed that thriller and horror is two different things. So this, I feel, is more focused on thriller than horror, where there is, like, I'm sure there will be more instances where you could feel horrified, but I feel like the focus on this is the thrill of how are they going to do this, the chase, the you know, the mind games between the mother and these 3 kids and how are they gonna da-da-da. So I feel like the focus on this anime is definitely on the thrill aspect, whereas with an anime for, like Boogie Pop, for example, which is another anime that I'm watching this season, I feel like that horror is more at the forefront because you have these also otherworldly creatures, but the way that they are introduced into the anime, and especially episode 3, I feel like there's more of a horror aspect than a thriller aspect, okay? But that's just my personal opinion. I have seen much worse horrors than Boogie Pop, so I'm just trying to give an example of the 2 genres and how they mix, and what I see is horror and what I see is thriller. Okay, let's do a question of the day. Question of the day, so far, which character do you like best? Norman, Emma, or Ray? For me, it's a pretty hard pick between Norman or Ray at this point. I'm gonna go with Ray because I just like his personality and his, I don't want to say aggressiveness because it's not really, I think, like, you're not allowed to praise aggressiveness in the male species, apparently. I don't know. But I just like his forceful is also not the right word, nature. I just like his, I can't say anything without SJWs jumping down my throat. I just like Ray, okay? I like his attitude, I like his nature. But I also really like Norman because he's so upfront. I don't know, that moment where he's like, I like Emma and I want to do this for her and I'm not going to let her die. Like, that was actually really badass. So he's a close second to Ray. Emma's cute, but meh. I mean, it's very admirable. I mean, if I had to choose a friend, I'd probably choose her as my friend because she wouldn't let me die if she think I was gonna not be able to escape. So we're not being like, which would you choose we're not asking who do you think is a better person here. We're just asking which character do you like more as an anime character. Okay, so that's the question of the day. Thank you guys for hearing out my thoughts on this. Please share your thoughts in the comment section down below. No manga thoughts. If you are reading the manga, just say spoiler, enter, and then if anyone else is reading the manga and they want to talk about that, they can read your comments, but please don't spoil anyone. Okay, so thank you guys for being here. I'll see you next time. Bye.